So here we are. We're here to do a reading for my Scorpio risings, because I know you guys are going to need a reading, and then we're going to have Christmas. I need to do Gemini. I tried doing Gemini, and it was tough. So what I'm going to say is we're going to kind of just go with the flow, okay? So this is going to be a two-part video. Actually, that's just what I'll do. So this is going to be either if you could be a Scorpio with a Gemini, you could be just a Scorpio rising, and then the second half is going to be Gemini, or yeah, that's the way we're going to have to do it. Geminis, you will get a reading, I promise. I don't want to read for heavy energy right now, because I just don't want to. Personal opinions, that's why. As a Gemini right now, and I have a lot of people that, yeah, watch me. I am just not going to. I'm really sorry, Geminis. Sometimes, if I do a Gemini reading and people that I know do the reading, sometimes they can feel as though the reading of similar circumstances is going to be coming out, and I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, especially during the holidays. So it's been really hard for me to be able to do it. And then the other kicker is I only can do readings right now on one phone. So yeah, here we are. So this is going to be for my Scorpio risings. Right off the bat, Scorpio risings. Okay, cool. So some of you could be getting married. Some of you could be dealing with marriage. Okay, okay. Some of you could just be celebrating. 'Tis a season to be jolly. Even though I feel like Geminis are not. But I think you guys are doing the best you can. I just feel like energetically right now there's a lot going on. As we know, Scorpions, we are now Scorpions. We've been Scorpionic. We now know that Venus is just getting out of Scorpio and into Sagittarius. And so with that being said, when it comes to our Venuses, so with that being said, a lot of us are going to be going through different types of things. So tell me about my Scorpio risings right now. Scorpio risings. Okay, so I feel like some of our Scorpios right now don't feel like we're getting nurtured the way that we need to be nurtured right now. Scorpio rising. And those that know, this is for Scorpio rising and moons. That's the way that I read, because you both are going to resonate. Yeah, moving on. Or you just don't resonate with me as a reader. It's really that simple. It looks like some of us don't feel like we're really able to... Okay, I just heard masturbate, so I don't know if that is for someone, but I'm going to throw it out there. I think that some of us are not able to celebrate right now because we're wanting to celebrate, maybe. We're trying to push ourselves... I don't know what's going on, ourselves to celebrate some things, but maybe we're not feeling like we're able to be nurtured, or that we're in a place. It's kind of like I have everything that I could need, and I'm not grateful, and I'm not happy. It's more, how is it that and I don't want to say that because it's not like a bad vibe. It's just kind of like, okay, Scorpios, I just feel like we could be maybe a little bit in our feelers. Like a little like, how is it that I am able to celebrate? Like I'm living the life that, you know, things are working out for me. I'm finding happiness, but I don't really feel like I'm able to manifest exactly what I want, or I haven't been able to manifest and nurture what I want in the past. Or why is it that I'm able to manifest and create anything and everything that I want, but maybe when it comes to love, I fall for all the wrong people. I know that Geminis are right now going through situations where they are staying away from what no longer serves them, yet those things are coming towards them like fleas, trying to get in the house so they don't freeze to death for the winter. So I feel like maybe Scorpionics, you could be going through a similar thing. We might be a little bit more, it might be more of an emotional depth when it comes to my Scorpios, as opposed to my Geminis are going to be more of a heady depth, like what should I do? Should I do this and this? And then we get too many ideas going on and concepts. Can we tap in real quick to what my... Okay, yep. It was completely about love. Okay. Okay, well, first of all, we are not maybe feeling like we're having an awakening, okay? Maybe it's like, okay, you know what? I fucking love more than love itself. I'm the motherfucking Care Bear of love, okay? And it just seems like I'm not having the awakening that I thought I should be having, or things feel like I have everything that I need, but for some reason my brain is kind of conflicted within itself to a certain extent, where it's like a little too deep within deep self. So with that being said, I'm definitely gonna right off the bat say, I think that maybe our heart is broken, Scorpionics. Yeah. When these two cards are reversed, babies, this is very much, I feel like I'm the fucking mother of nature itself. Like, I will nurture the soul of souls. We're Scorpios. That's what we do, right? As we know, I'm Scorpio moon. And if you don't know because you're new, hello, welcome. I'm a Scorpio moon. So when this is reversed, this is kind of just feeling like I don't understand. I literally want nothing but the best for people. So the kicker, Scorpionics, is sometimes people can't handle our depth. They can't handle our realness. They can't handle their shadows. And you know what? We have to admit it. Look at us right now. We can't necessarily... We can handle it because we're used to it to a certain extent, but it's something that we can't always balance. And if we can barely balance it, imagine how other signs feel. Okay? That's what I kind of want us to do right now. So, with that being said, it's really important, even though it's like, okay, well, I've been fucking doing this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and this doesn't make any sense to me. It's not supposed to. Just like no breakups always make sense, no marriages that don't work out don't always make sense, no workmanships that should have worked out. This is sometimes like when no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, it just doesn't make sense how it ends up being what it is. Or some of you could have fallen in a situation where something happened that is not justified, or as someone feels fit, it is not. Okay, so here's the deal, Scorpios. Our job in life is to sociopathically screen people as they come in and out of our life. Because realistically, that's what we do. We watch people's actions, we watch how they behave, who they are, identify, understand. Just because we have that gift, and just because all can have that gift, doesn't mean all knows how to manage that gift, especially if they have a lot of other stresses. Let's just say they are more of an earth sign. They're not going to be deep unless they have deeper elements within their chart. Therefore, it might be easier for them as individuals, and this doesn't mean they're not deep. It might be easier for them as individuals to be caught up with the craziness of life. Now, does that mean you need to sit and wait for them? Fuck no. You do not wait for anyone in life. Your life is your life, and how dare anyone expect you to put your life on hold for them? That just shows that they're not grown spiritually, which is another sign that we get. But we also have to realize we're all at different aspects of growth. So does that mean it's wrong of them? No. Obviously, it depends. You know, there are just people that are just who they are, you know, but there are other ones that are on different trains, I guess you could say, than us, and they just caught a later train, and that all, again, has to do with our chart. So I feel like this is inevitably gonna be really hard, because we're realizing that, unfortunately, with the transition that we just had with Jupiter transitioning and all the planets and our karmic cycles, unfortunately, we're seeing we might be moving forward, but other people might not be moving forward with us. Okay, sorry, when I did that, it looked all bony and creepy. I'm not a skeleton. Anyways, moving on. So, Anyways, I wanted to say something, but I'm not going to. It might be a little too, yeah, enough said. So, with that being said, I feel as though, as hard as it is and as much as you don't necessarily want to hear it, we're being asked to wait even more than we already have. And I know it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what Spirit expects from me. At the end of the day, someone's not able to perceive something right, and it most likely is what they originally wished for, because they don't inevitably want to be vulnerable, and they would rather be fickle. Okay? Okay. Now, does this mean eventually one day they might not come forward, or they're gonna tell you all these stupid bullshit things like, I think about you every day? Really, asshole? Because if you did, obviously that's not the case. You would take authority of your own life. But the realistic truth is not everyone is like that, okay? Can you give me a card for the authority? Now, the other thing I really want us to be aware of right now is what we're supposed to be working on with Spirit. And I know this isn't what you hear, and I know you guys totally value yourselves. But self-worth is something that you're practicing right now. Obviously, we've talked about the balance of feminine and masculine energy, yin and yang. We've talked about it. If you haven't heard about it and you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go watch a couple episodes. Plus, I'm in fortune teller in most all readings that I have. In other words, you need to go watch all the other Scorpio risings. They all lead into different stories, which creates this whole experience that you're in right now. So if you haven't watched those videos, and you just watch them right now, that's going to be a loss for you, because we go through karmic cycles that are going to be circulating. So the same issues you had last year, you're going to have in this year. It's just going to be different people, places, things. If you did make that change, then inevitably the cycles are going to be similar, and it's basically us making the changes. So with the changes, you will have learned already that we can't just make people decide to get better and healthier. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how much you actually love someone, you can't make them open their eyes. Some people would rather just lean on intoxicants that are going to make them just wish away their life, and some people are going to grow just like us, just they might grow in a different way. Okay, so we do need to unfortunately keep that in mind. And I say unfortunately because I know Scorpios, you guys are soul creatures, so I know how much when someone isn't maybe growing at the rate that we think they should, or that we see them that they can, etc., etc., we just feel like it's like the end of the universe, like, but you're not gonna go on this, you know. And unfortunately it is what it is. Okay. Okay, so self-worth is something that you're supposed to be focusing on. I feel as though you guys definitely are. I feel like you're kind of at a point where it's like, okay, so I've worked on my self-worth. Sorry guys, that's my birth, you know, anyways, deformity. I've worked on all my things. I've tried manifesting. I've manifested everything that I could have wanted, or everything is working out for me, but I do just want to move on with love. Well, there is something to do with finances that you're not listening to. This could be a new creative endeavor. This is my problem. So I understand that you need, and you're being asked to push yourself on even starting. I don't know if it is you starting this is going to release these issues that you're having upon yourself, or bestowing upon yourself. I don't know. Yes, they are. Exactly. They're gonna hear what you say, and you're gonna show that you literally, truthfully decided, no matter how you feel in your soul and heart, you're going to take it and you're going to move forward. And when you get that exact closure, that is what's going to help you show the divine within walking proof that you still can feel the way that you felt through these karmic cycles and or seasons. Because if we've made... Anyways, moving on. But I've actually taken the initial steps to be able to do it. Okay? Okay. This also has to do with entrepreneurism, so this all has to do with Scorpionics. We need to be doing what we do best, which is basically creating the inevitable, rebirthing things that are dead from life itself. People's souls are dead. That's what we're here for, Scorpios. Also, something to remember, if you feel like you're in a very, 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 very boring state of life, you... Astro Queen, if you have not looked her up, you have to look her up. She's fucking amazing at YouTube's. She's amazing. Now, not every story is going to resonate, and so just remember that. But she had just done a Scorpio reading. Yes. I don't know if it was this last one or the one before, okay? She's amazing. I really enjoy her. I have a couple people that I do not read for, so I don't know why that was just coming out. That I really like. And she's one of them. I'll slowly just mention them, not right now, you know, but as videos go, and that's basically to, if you listen to the videos and you listen to them all thoroughly, then you'll hear what I had to say. Otherwise, it is what it is. I don't make my videos for people that take shortcuts, because shadow work is not shortcuts in life. That's someone that wants to hear what they want to hear, and that is why you're here watching tarot, because you don't learn from your lessons and you choose to repeat them. Realistically, she had made an amazing point. Some of us could be in a state, and this is a beautiful way of saying it. I guess I never felt comfortable saying it. I more thought about it, but it's a pretty dark thing. Some of us could be an aspect of we're back in hell. This is more of a mind frame. It's being in a place where you've kind of created and manifested and done your due diligence on walking away from things that no longer serve you, making the changes that you need to when it comes to releasing people, etc., etc. All these changes at one time, which inevitably are going to change you as an individual. Now, during these times, there's going to be a lot of different things that you're going to experience, and within these experiences, you're definitely going to feel like you're in a space that is hellish, like, because it's like, what? I literally have had to get, like, personally, I've had to lose in just a year. Well, I mean, it's in 2 years alone. I've walked away from anything and everything I've built my whole empire and foundation on. Gone. Like that. And then I had a individual come in my life that knew what was going on and chose to put me through another trauma just because they felt like it, and then ran back to a toxic shit show when I thought personally we might have grown together through our traumas. With that being said, everything that I've spent my last 12 years of my life on, let's just say 10 years of my life on, taken away from me like that, based on them making shitty choices. Does that have anything to do with me? Absolutely no. Does that have anything to do with my growth? Absolutely no. Was I freaking out when I didn't know if I was going to have somewhere to live? Fuck yes. And then guess what? The next day that I literally was the most desperate, I find something. So inevitably, I would say, I absolutely, when Astro mentioned something about hell, it made complete sense to me. Why is that? Because I needed to inevitably be able to move myself, not because necessarily it was a bad situation, but because that was the one thing that I was stopping myself from doing. Because at this time, let's just say this time, because I haven't made the move yet based on anything other than what I'm going to talk to you guys about, because my personal life has nothing to do with this right now. It was something I needed to do with me. The reason I didn't want to do it is because all the foundations my whole entire life that I started to set up for myself, and all the true heartfelt intent and creativity and passion I have for everything that I've devoted my life to, has been taken away from me. So through that experience, this was the only foundation that I had left. So for Spirit to ask me to kind of have that be taken away from me as well was like, are you fucking kidding me? Pardon my French, but seriously, I've just lost literally like my house, my dog, my man, you know, and all of that, my job that literally wouldn't even be what the establishment was without me. Like, the list could go on, and it was like, and now you want me to leave what is my best friend, who I, you know, it was just like, are you kidding me? But what was happening is I was hitting boring, 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 and it was just like, what am I doing wrong? Well, unfortunately, with the aspirations and dreams that I personally have, by me being where I am, which is slightly comfortable, right? Because it is something that I know, it inevitably, I wasn't able to push myself enough to start the financial process of doing these other endeavors that I wanted to do because I was comfortable. So I wasn't really pushing myself to drive myself emotionally into these other things that inevitably are slowly transforming into something that's truly amazing and that can allow me to be the true entrepreneur driven ambitious person that I am, and also be recognized it by self-owned handmade product, essentially something that I created by myself after truly studying the human body, trauma, and the neurological system. It's like something I studied for 5 years. It's a whole concept within itself, but we're not even going there. And it was something that I was able to create out of my own traumas when I decided not to self-medicate myself like most people do in dysfunctional relationships. And I took it upon myself to be able to do this. Now, yes, it was a blessing that I was able to learn these things, but if I was to spend 5 years of my life creating something that was so inevitably awesome, and the feedback I got was amazing, now what happened is the product kind of took off a little faster than I was able to do, and my last work endeavor, I was working more than anyone else that worked in the whole establishment did. So with that being said, I didn't have the time to be able to put forward, or I also had moved my houses within a year of that, where I couldn't grow the product of which I was creating, if that makes sense, because I'm one of those people that I like substantial living. That's who I am as an individual. I like to grow, create, everything is created. It's not man bought. You can't just go to the store and buy this shit, or you don't buy the products from the store to make it. I like to create everything within myself and produce it, therefore I can 100% guarantee and know where it came from, as well as it's a healthy way to be able to distract yourself when you're in mental conflictions. That way, me and my ex never had to worry about being in drunken intoxicants or drug intoxicants or all these other dysfunctional things people use in relationships, and then they say they're holding on to each other when really it's codependency. We're moving on from that. So with that being said, it was not necessarily that it was in a good situation or place for me to be. It was just the divine knew that once I do these things and do these steps, I'm going to be able to create this lifestyle of which I've always dreamed and wanted. Now, was, in my opinion, it done the easiest, most beneficial way that they needed to teach me? No. But I'm also learning a lot about how naive I can be when it comes to people and individuals, especially with my Gemini Scorpio aspect. I can read people's souls and hearts like you guys in a certain extent. But that doesn't mean just because you see their good parts of what they can be in that lifetime, that does not mean they're ever going to be that. People will go their whole life, and you will always know the best that they can be, but they will go their whole life and never understand what that is for themselves. That is part of your gift, being able to see people's best and worst. Unfortunately, you're going to find within this stage called life that we go through, they're not that. It's up to them to make the choice whether they want to be that. And it's not up to us to then turn around and wait for them and be the codependency of which they just came from because they chose not to accept the gift of the universe of what they were given, is which inevitably what they asked for. Okay? So with that being said, it's still taking a whole bunch of healing. Does that mean that you're not going to be depressed and sad and all these other fucking horrifying words? You're in hell. It's going to suck fucking ass. You're going to see all these other people basically be able to get away scotch-free with what feels like inevitably way too much. Because in this day and age, this world is built on being able to just be able to get away with whatever you want to get away with and drink your sorrows away and stay in the same blatant shit show for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, not all of us are wanting to do that. And when we're not, inevitably in this day and age where we are on the 3D realm, it's hard because people don't do that really on the 3D realm. It's easier just to lean to some sort of codependency, whether it's a person, overworking yourself and not knowing how to gain balance in relationships and situationships, and or any and everything else, okay? The reality is you're being asked to celebrate yourself. Celebrate what you've allowed yourself to work through and to release to this point, and to realize you are going to be blessed with fortune. Now, I know it's easy for me to say that right now. Thank you. Because you feel as though it's moving so slow and everything that you work for kind of got thrown away or given to someone else maybe. Or your wishes and dreams and everything you put your whole entire soul in is gone. But what Divine is wanting you to do is transform even further and know that this is you, and to have the validation and to be able to know, let's just say in a month from now, or 2 months, or a year from now, you're just like, how the fuck did I get here? Exactly. That is the pure, bold truth that the Divine is wanting you to know. The blood moon essentially was helping us manifest whatever was manifested on the blood moon for you. Inevitably is what the Divine wants to help you create, okay? It may feel, you feel my hands keep wanting to stick. It might feel like you're going in circles and something keeps block. Inevitably, that's not going to be the case. So, because you no longer have those toxic things or people around you anymore, because we've done the releasing we need to do. Now, does that mean the Divine can help whether or not they come back? No. Those people are going to do the same mistakes that they did when they met you. Say that they're ready for something they're still not ready for. Can the Divine stop that? No. It's up to them to make the changes. The chances of them making the changes are extremely, extremely, extremely low. It is what it is. Okay? It's gonna take you to have the biggest hour of your life. Like, seriously, guys. A series of hell. Remember, you're in hell. You're in a place, basically, where you've taken all the souls and the people that you met in your life. Right? And you've gotten to this point where you finally had to release them. You release them in hell. Because you're a Scorpio. Hell is foreign to you. Meaning, Scorpios, the reason you're a Scorpio is because of the amount of trauma that you've been in. Every sign has a reason behind it. And it has to do with parents. How you were treated from day one. Okay? And inevitably, it's the mental state of which your DNA was in based on the family that you came from and what you saw and perceived as things grew. I guess would be the most general way of saying it. Okay? And it takes going and bringing all these souls to hell, and these people are going to stay there mentally and conflictedly, or they're going to be able to rebirth like you out of it. Now, once you're in hell, Scorpions, we cannot just sit there and hang out and be comfortable and overindulge, just like I could keep sitting with where I'm comfortable. But then what you're going to notice is, even though life is fine and you're still a good person and all is great and they're still good and all is good, you are not going to be able to hit your personal boundaries, because that was meant for you to rebirth what you do both, and to be like, okay, so now that I've done this, I know I can do it. So what can I do next? Well, I don't want to do anything next. I just went like to hell. Exactly. This is what you're supposed to be getting used to. These things are going to keep happening. It's called a cycle. So does that mean your feelings of your soul are going to change? No. But you're going to realize that everything has a amount of allotted time that it's going to have connected to it. Okay? And at any point, the universe and or natural disasters can take away these things. Or these people, based on their own traumas and stories and choices, can decide to go back to dysfunctional ways, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you need to be able to keep moving. Okay? It's also going to allow you to have stronger relationships. In other words, we're trying to create power couples here, not whatever these other people are calling themselves married, as they I'm sorry. So remember, these are 3D fritters we're talking about, okay? So marriage to 3D fritters is, you know, okay, that's following what their parents say is ideal when their parents are fucking dysfunctional fucks, right? Now, there are parents that, unfortunately, there was dysfunction, and then you get one parent decides to grow from it, and the other parent that doesn't. Does that mean both are 3D fucks? No. The ones that choose to stay 3D fucks are the ones we're talking about, okay? Okay. And does that mean the other parent can't love the other person? No. If we have Scorpionic in our chart, your soul is always going to be with that person, a part of it. But guess what? You're always going to be a part of them. Now, the sad thing is the person doesn't realize is your soul a part of it can be with them, but once you make this full transition, or even the transition that you made now, you're not going back. So it doesn't matter how much the person changes, they literally would have to jump fucking hula hoops of fire to be able to get back to you. Chances of them doing that are pretty much, like, I will say non-existent. But technically, I'll be a Gemini and be a little bit optimistic and say they have like a 1%. But really, yeah. Remember, you're looking for a power person. Like someone that literally can change the world. Like you. Think of how many people in the world are like that. How many couples do you meet like that? They're not there. They rarely exist. If you talk about them, those are the people of lifetimes that are remembered. I remember, you know, it doesn't happen. Now, they just call them 3D. Okay, so a 3D ideology of a of a power relationship would be polyamorous. Complete fucking bullshit. But we're not in that, okay? We're not. It's equal give and take. Period. Justice, balance, honesty, authenticity. Choosing to trust yourself instead of trusting others. And all these other things, okay? Okay. So you're being asked, after this tower, and you're in hell, and after you've been drifted all alone, all by your lonesome self, you're being asked to inevitably stop mentally juggling things in your mind. See, I could just channel these. I don't even need to read tarot, but I do it for validation, so I don't need to be an ignorant know-it-all. Anyways. Stop juggling things. Listen to the truth. When the divine shows you the truth, you have to listen to them whether you like it or not, even if people don't tell you the truth. Okay? You do your truth. Okay? Unfortunately, if you choose not to do your truth and someone chooses to come in as a knight, meaning they're only going to come in with love at nighttime, which means they're going to come in with love at nighttime to you. Basically, this is a person that would get someone pregnant, that would be married, get someone else pregnant, and still come back and say they love you. Well, yeah, you love sister wives. You love everything. I'm not everything. I literally dropped your ass. Why they didn't, because they're desperate fucking assholes. You know what I mean? And you are trying to tell me that I'm equivalent to them. Yes, that's exactly what they're telling you. Because when someone sees things in that way, this is how they see life. Tunneled. To how they want to perceive it. So no matter how much you bitch, preach, tell, express, etc., this is how they see life. This is how you see life. all the way. I can still see my fingers. Okay, I can see them all the way to over here. That's a lot more vision than this karmic little cycle of insanity that people choose to stay in. Why? Because they can buy their way out of it, snort their way out of it, drink their way out of it. You know, does that mean it's not okay to party? Fuck no. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. But when you choose to do things because mommy told me to, but mommy's a drunk at home by herself and depressed. See where I'm going with this? Now, if mommy's been through shit, and mommy sure as fuck is not a care bearer of filter love, then that's a realistic human being. That's not a 3D fritter that just sits on their ass eating bonbons doing the same shit over and over and over. Someone that is like us, right? Because we are all... Anyways. And they choose not to sit in. So this is what you've gone for. We got a Knight of Passion. We got a Knight of Cups, meaning I'm going to come in and give you my dick because I'm the bomb. Well, no, you are not the bomb. You just hang out with desperate people and they treat you amazing because they're desperate like you. And so now you have this full blown out ego of all this shit that you are, when reality is you're in delusion about how delusional you are. This is what you're having to get away from. So until the universe feels as though this could never come back, or you couldn't be hurt if you saw something, or this and this and this, then you're not ready to fully transform into a forward motion. Meaning, if you saw this, who's to say you wouldn't get sad? But until you're not sad is when you're not fully ready. Okay? Now the thing is that's petrifying is there is a place where you will see it and not even give a fuck, because you're gonna be like, oh wow. So kind of like how I felt when I had two guys ask me I wanted to have a threesome, and I was like, what? I don't think anyone ever even asked this. I felt like a kid, and they were hotter than shit. Of course I said no, because I'm a very celibate person, unless I'm in a relationship. But did it make me feel like, fuck that, you think I'd be jealous of your ass? You know, it was kind of like that. Now, does that mean that I'm not someone that believes in love completely and fully? No, I absolutely believe in that. But if they want to have all these choompa-loompas, right, and whatever shenanigans of desperate people that they want to create for themselves, have them. I could do that too. And be just as, like, bold-headed as you. And thinking that I was all that in a bag of Cheetos. But the reality is I know that I'm not shit Cheetos. I know that I'm a plant, and a plant, something that grows from the earth, then creates and can be eaten, not something that's 3D made. Therefore, at the end of the day, I'm going to make people survive, and you're going to deplete people. Just like the people you choose to be with, and that's why I felt depleted from you. And that's why you'll never understand me, because you don't understand the hard work that I had to put in to be this way. I tried to teach you, I tried to show you, but here we are. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like that. So they're gonna unfortunately most likely go around thinking they're all that, and they are all that in a bag of Cheetos. But you know what? There's 100 million different type of Cheetos. And let me just say, the amount of hotness that is out there, you will not give up on yourself. That's all I had to say, okay? Do not settle. You might feel like you're hanging there, you're being the hangman, and you're kind of feeling as though, because you're in hell, mentally, that you are trying to get over this past trauma, or multiple traumas. Like, for me, I've realized it's trauma. All of this shit has led to trauma. At first, I thought it was a certain thing. Now it's like, no, I won't even, but it's actually been a gift, because it's like, wow, that made me feel just a lot better. You're not hanging. You're meditating. You're brainstorming. You're doing the hard fucking work that no one wants to do. And it feels like it's getting nowhere. But nowhere is the people that are on the wheels on the bus that go round and round, and they're still confused on how they got there. Okay? Okay. So, while we meditate, Why is that coming out? I saw that one. Maybe we need to switch. So someone might... if you feel like people are laughing at you, let them laugh. If they're paying attention to you, who are they really laughing at? Like if you're watching me, but you're laughing at me. Now, who's the funny one? Yeah. Guess what? The wheels on the bus go round and round. They're still not gonna get it. They're still not gonna get it. Yeah, exactly. Identity. So when people don't know who they are, it's really easy for them to laugh at things that they don't understand and don't know. You're, at the end of the day, could easily laugh at them and say, well, look at you guys. But you choose not to. Why? Because you are motherfucking Scorpio. And you're on a higher vibration. And when people choose to do this, not trust their identity, not laugh anymore, and not to follow divine love, came out again, then they're not going to get this. And of course they're going to laugh at you, because you are going to be getting anything and everything that you've ever wanted. And all you have to do really is listen to the divine. Now, that doesn't mean... Can you help me? Kill them with kindness. Do the polar opposite of what they did. Or completely be like me, and you don't even know the shit people are talking about you because they're not even a part of your life anymore. Why? Because at the end of the day, you know what you want. Like, do they pay your bills? So, like, why the fuck does it matter? I'd be like, can you even pay your own bills? Can you, like, where'd you get that idea? Why are you watching me? Exactly. These people love talking about shit. Why? Because they have nothing to talk about. They have nothing in their lives that they can talk about. Because most likely, if they're talking about you, or focusing on you, or laughing at you, there's nothing really fascinating besides you happening in their life, is there? Just saying. And obviously you were that amazing and impressive to them, where you're still the topic of conversation. You can't help it. I mean, let's be Scorpionic. I mean, I had a client look at me today and she goes, I'm just doing her hair. We're talking about completely something relevant, and then we're just kind of quiet as I'm doing her hair, obviously. I get zoned in and she goes, Taryn, you are so beautiful. Do you get told that ever? And I am like, I didn't even know what to say. I just was like, looked up and I was just kind of like, I don't know what to say right now. You know what I said? I said, that's ironic, because I can't seem to, like, it does not feel as though life has always worked out that way when it comes to, you know, it benefiting me in a certain way. It's either I'm pretty and I've had everything handed to me, which is the polar opposite of me. I've been pretty and assumed that I was stupid, or I've been pretty and, like, the way one looks is the way they're born. I don't choose how I look. It is something that's given to you. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What about the trauma? What about the research I had to do to be able to study to get myself out of depression when other people choose to do other things? Do I get any credit for that? No, it's just about my looks. So for me, it's always been really uncomfortable. Not only that, when growing up, my mom would compete with me. And we can't even go there. So for me personally, I despise personal appearance when it comes to people feeling as though their looks matter. Now, I do realize it's easy for someone to say that looks nice, etc., etc., etc. I get that. I get that. I fucking get that. But just how one feels when they want to say that to me, I want to say the same to you, like you. Well, it's easy for you to say that when you're this smart. Or when you are inquisitive. Or it's easy for you to say that when you're naturally funny. Or it's easy for you to say that when you're naturally... Do you see what I mean? We can technically all do that in 50 million different types of ways. But at the end of the day, what do? You say this. Thank you. I do get told that every day, everywhere I go. And I don't know what else to say, because it's a blessing, yet it's a curse, it feels. You know, but it is what it is who I am, and I was born this way. Just like you were born smart, you could be born funny, you could be born pretty, you could be born sporty, you could be born curvy, you could be born, you know, it could be a million different things. But it is a part of you. So appreciate it. Be honest and authentic about it, but don't disgrace it. Listening, it's really important to focus on, and this is where we're going to close out what we're going to close out. That when we feel like we're being fickle and we can't make up our mind on a situation, are we being fickle because we were rejected? And if that's the reason, all you need to do is ask yourself, what is my kindness in the situation? And was I truly listening? And if so, was it truly truthful? And if so, did it make me feel good? Or am I choosing not to do things because of the shame that it could put me through? Okay? Also make sure, people that tend to overexert themselves, in other words, like if you feel bored right now, people that overdo at work, remember that's a 3D fritter. That's someone that's trying to hide up their emotional feelings to live in shame because they're shameful of their choices. Or whether they allow someone to create a self-imposed prison on them. Like, well, you married me, so you're stuck with me because you're a horrible person. When the other person totally disregards the fact that they are 50 shades of the same fucking thing. Instead, it's, well, you made me do this because if you never did this and this and this. Okay. Need we say more? Okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I hope you have an amazing day. Leave comments if you need things. I think I'm gonna kind of couture my channel to Scorpio, Moon, Risings, and Geminis. I will probably do Aquarius readings, and then I'll probably do Cancer readings. Any other sign, if you want a reading, you're gonna have to leave a comment saying what sign you want me to read for. Otherwise, these are the only signs that I'm going to be reading for now on. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys have an amazing night, day, and morning, whatever it is from you. And peace out, Cub Scout. Bye.